point in time, I'd like to call this meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. Dennis, salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notice of this meeting, pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante. Here. Freeholder Delina. Freeholder Polos.
Here.
Freeholder Rios.
Here.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti. Here. Freeholder Director Rufano.
Here. Proclamations.
The first this evening is recognizing September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in Middlesex County. Next is recognizing October as Domestic Violence Month in Middlesex County. And next is also recognizing October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Middlesex County.
Thank you, Margaret. Commemorative resolutions.
There are a number of them this evening. First is recognizing Peter Agliata of Elizabeth, as he is named the 2011 Man of the Year by the Ribera Italian American Cultural Center. Next is recognizing Father Kenneth Murphy, pastor at St. Stanislaus Kostka Church in Sayreville, as he is honored with a celebratory Mass and dinner. Next is recognizing Frank Ficini, as he is the 2011 honoree of the 29th Annual Columbus Day Ball, as named by the North Brunswick Italian American Social Club. Next is recognizing the second annual Milltown Mission Possible local fundraiser. Next is recognizing Lori Snyder, Executive Director of the Raritan Bay Mental Health Center, on the occasion of her retirement. Next is recognizing James Jones of the Medical Examiner's Office on the occasion of his retirement. Next is recognizing the following as they are honored by the Puerto Rican Association for Human Development. Benjamin Ruiz, Perth Amboy Acting Chief of Police, Special Recognition Award. Dr. Artemides Restituyo, Outstanding Professional Award. Santa Maria Eye Center, Outstanding Business Award, and the Amboy Guardian Commendable Media Award. Next is recognizing the following as they are honored by the Woodbridge Metro Chamber of Commerce. Citizen of the Year, Bernadette Solar of Middlesex Water Company. Corporate Citizen of the Year, Renaissance Woodbridge Hotel. Member of the Year, Don Brown from MetLife. Small Business Person of the Year, Michael Valiant of Valiant Home Remodelers. The William E. Short Award recipient is John Mitch, the Municipal Clerk of Woodbridge Township. The Frank G. Pelsman Community Service Award will be presented to Keep Middlesex Moving Incorporated. And the Paul Harris Award for the Woodbridge Perth Amboy Rotary Club will be presented to Jack and Carol Hyla. The last is recognizing the Colonia Veterans of Foreign Wars Memorial Post 6061 on the occasion of their 11th annual charity dinner dance, which will benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of New Jersey.
I need a motion to adopt the resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rufano.
Yes. Correspondence.
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
Need a motion to accept the correspondence.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Director Rufano has received a letter from GS Realty indicating their interest in selling property located on Route 516 and Cottrell Road in Old Bridge. This property is 6.44 acres and is adjacent to the Cottrell Farm.
I need a motion to refer this matter to the Open Space Committee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rufano.
Yes.
Just a suggestion, Director, we should probably also forward it to the mayor and council in Old Bridge to get their input.
Okay. Good idea. Let's do that, Margaret. Okay, at this point in time, I would like to deliver the State of the County address and I thank my colleagues for deferring their time from their reports so that I can deliver this State of the County address. At the beginning of 2011, Middlesex County embarked on a journey to enhance the way it does business in order to better meet the needs of our residents while continuing to face the challenges of a stalled national economy. In the months since, we have begun to streamline our operational structure, cut our expenses, and identify new revenues by forging partnerships with our municipalities and other counties. We have also continued to invest in our critical infrastructure that is essential to support our economic development strategy. Tonight, I am pleased to present the 2011 State of the County Address and to share with you the steps we have taken over the past 10 months to improve operations and enhance services. None of the achievements I'm about to name could have been possible without the hard work and dedication of this Freeholder Board, our department heads, and all our county employees. I thank each one of them for their efforts. These efforts have not gone unnoticed. Citing Middlesex County's strong and diverse economic base, its strong income levels, and low overall debt burden, Standard & Poor's Rating Services, one of the nation's top bond rating firms, once again assigned a AAA rating to Middlesex County. The county's rating is higher than that of the United States. Standard & Poor's has consistently assigned its highest rating to the county because of our keen financial management. What the bond rating reflects is that Middlesex County remains fiscally responsible despite the downturn in the national economy. This allows Middlesex County to invest in infrastructure improvements while reducing the tax burden to our residents. Simply put, by keeping our financial house in order, we can maintain and even increase the quality of life of our residents, and that is what good government is all about. In 2011, under my direction as chairman of the Administration and Finance Committee, Middlesex County drove down the cost of operations by $2.5 million by reducing salaries and wages and cutting overall expenses. At the same time, we made critical changes in how Middlesex County government is organized and how it conducts business. We consolidated 28 departments into 5. We are eliminating work redundancies, and through new technology, we are automating manual intensive work functions. We are in the process of cross-training our workforce to be more efficient. This restructuring will result in at least $1 million in savings in 2011 and will save millions more in the future. By using state-of-the-art technology to streamline our operations, we are finding new and better ways to serve the people of Middlesex County. The investments we have made in the economic development of the county took another step forward with the groundbreaking on the New Brunswick Wellness Plaza. The project, which the Freeholder Board directed $31 million toward in low-interest federal bonds, created 350 construction jobs and will bring about 370 permanent jobs. It is exactly the type of forward-thinking, smart redevelopment that Middlesex County needs to better serve its residents. The Wellness Plaza will be a key community resource for health and wellness programming and will bring a much-needed grocery store to downtown New Brunswick. The quality health care offered in Middlesex County will get a major boost very soon as we celebrate the opening of Roosevelt Care Center at Old Bridge. The 180-bed long-term care facility, built to be LEED certified gold, will enhance and complement the care already provided at Roosevelt's Edison campus. When fully occupied, Roosevelt Care Center at Old Bridge is expected to employ approximately 200 employees and represents another project that benefits Middlesex County residents and taxpayers in more ways than one. These are the types of projects that will be the engine to accelerate our economic growth in Middlesex County and be a model for the state and the country as we jumpstart this economy. To further propel us forward, the county conducted an economic development study, partnering with experts in the field to assist us in developing a sustainable strategy to boost our economy and our reputation as the best place to grow or start a business now and in the future. Under the direction of Freeholder Deputy Director Ron Rios, chairperson of the Law and Public Safety Committee, we have looked to our partners in the municipalities and in other counties to share services and drive down operational costs. In another example of Middlesex County's aggressive pursuit of shared services, we entered into an agreement with Mercer County. Under the agreement, Mercer County has agreed to pay Middlesex County to provide juvenile services, generating $1.8 million in revenue annually. It expands on the shared services program we established with Monmouth, Gloucester, and Somerset counties. These agreements have generated over $4 million in new and recurring revenues to Middlesex County. The county, under the supervision of the county clerk, also implemented a shared services e-filing system which enables subscribers such as banks, law firms, mortgage lenders, and title companies to send, receive, and track their records and real estate filings through an internet portal. Electronic filing cuts down on the voluminous amount of paper needed during a traditional filing, saving the county and our taxpayers money. 2 projects to support our local law enforcement partners were started this year. First, the Board of Chosen Freeholders and the Prosecutor's Office offered a $5,000 community policing grant to each police department within the county to address issues such as vandalism, bullying, and bias. Secondly, again in conjunction with the Prosecutor's Office, the county used federal Homeland Security grant funds to purchase automated license plate readers. The units mounted on a patrol car automatically read license plates as a police vehicle is on patrol. The system automatically alerts officers if the information obtained requires law enforcement action. This sophisticated technology represents another great tool we've been able to offer our local partners to keep our citizens safe. Hurricane Irene tested the county's ability to respond effectively to a mass emergency. Because of our preparedness plans and our investment in a state-of-the-art communication system, we were able to coordinate with federal, state, and local emergency first responders. We will continue to update and refine our plans and procedures to ensure an effective and efficient response in the future. We also encourage our municipalities to use our emergency notification system, which was used very successfully during the hurricane to relay urgent messages to residents in 4 of our towns. As chairperson of Public Health and Education Committee, Freeholder Carol Barrett-Belante has ensured that Middlesex County continues to provide residents with outstanding public health services and educational opportunities. This year began with the opening of the LEED-certified David B. Crabiel Hall on the campus of Middlesex County College. In May, a total of 1,445 students, the largest class in Middlesex County College history, graduated at the 44th annual commencement exercises. The County College continually examines and updates its courses to ensure it is meeting the needs of our residents. This year, it established the Natural Sciences Department and added 2 degree programs, one in Allied Health and another in Earth Sciences, to adapt to the changing job market. Our vocational technical schools continue their tradition of offering outstanding education programs to prepare students for career and post-secondary educational pursuits. This past spring, the Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering was featured in a television special focused on its outstanding technology education programs that aired on the Discovery Channel. Under Freeholder Barrett-Belante, who is also our liaison to the Open Space and Farmland Preservation Program, we added 355 acres to our open space inventory by purchasing or entering into a contract to purchase land in Cranberry, South Brunswick, Old Bridge, Monroe, and Middlesex Borough. We also added 2 farms totaling 91 acres to our highly successful farmland preservation program. To date, the county has preserved forever more than 7,300 acres of open space and more than 5,000 acres of farmland. Under the direction of Freeholder Stephen J. Pete DeLina, Chairman of the Parks and Recreation Committee, we opened our 21st park, David B. Crabiel Park, named for our beloved former Freeholder Director. The park, at the border of Milltown and North Brunswick, features a multi-purpose field, a Little League field, a playground, and walking trails on 25 acres. We are ahead of schedule with the completion of the remediation and reconstruction of the Joseph Medwick Park in Carteret, which will restore the 83-acre park to its natural beauty. The newly reconstructed park will have state-of-the-art recreational facilities, including baseball and softball fields, a playground, new tennis courts, and open areas for residents to enjoy. Under the direction of Freeholder H. James Paulos, Chairperson of the Public Works and Transportation Committee, the Office of Transportation has expanded its very popular community shuttle program to include the M7 line, which connects residents in Old Bridge, South Amboy, South River, and Saraville with shopping, medical, and other destinations in the area. The Middlesex County Area Transit System provides more than 500,000 passenger trips annually. Building on Middlesex County's many environmentally friendly initiatives, Freeholder Paulos will host the county's 3rd Green Forum later this month. State and municipal leaders will gather to learn about various programs and funding available for energy-efficient projects. Freeholder Polos, who has been the lead on the county's sustainable energy programs, will be working closely with Freeholder Charles Tamaro, chairperson of the Engineering and Planning Committee, on one of the most exciting projects to be started this year. Together, they introduced our solar energy savings program at our Apple Orchard Lane complex in North Brunswick Township. The project will produce enough energy to provide 100% of the complex's power needs. Through this program alone, the county expects to save more than $13 million in energy costs over 15 years. It will be completed at no cost to the county and will produce construction jobs in the county. The energy we will produce will be clean energy, so this project is a win from an environmental standpoint as well. The Apple Orchard Lane Solar Project is another example of our efforts to harness the latest solar technology to benefit our residents. A solar project is currently underway at Middlesex County College. It, too, is expected to dramatically reduce energy costs and help the environment. We anticipate that the Middlesex County College project will save more than $12 million in energy costs during the 15-year program. These two solar projects will save taxpayers over $25 million in the next 15 years. We also invited our municipalities and school districts to participate in our solar energy savings program to see if they could realize energy savings. Interest was high, and as a result, more than 70 sites throughout the county have been identified as potential areas for solar panels. We will continue to work on behalf of our local partners as this phase of the program unfolds. Under Freeholder Tamaro's leadership of the Engineering and Planning Committee, we began work on the long-awaited reconstruction of the Ernston Road, Bordentown Avenue intersection at the border of Saraville and Old Bridge. The estimated construction cost is $9.4 million, which is primarily funded by the federal government. This project, which was years in the making, would not be happening if it were not for the Engineering Planning Office's perseverance and their aggressive pursuit of federal dollars. In the area of harnessing new technology to enhance services, the county is aggressively implementing GIS technology. The technology will touch and improve every aspect of county government, from planning and engineering, emergency services, law enforcement, parks and recreation, public safety, health, and housing. This collaborative strategy will result in our ability to deliver services at new levels of effectiveness and efficiency. The Human Services and Senior Services Committee, under the leadership of Freeholder Blanquita Valente, has continued to provide top-notch services to those in our county who need our help the most. Middlesex County is exploring the creation of a comprehensive program to help senior citizens live safely at home while being assisted by a team of healthcare experts 365 days a year. This is one of just a handful of programs of its kind in the state, which means we will be at the cutting edge of offering senior residents community-based outpatient care. This will enable our seniors to remain at home in surroundings that are comfortable. This program will be the first step in our efforts at developing a range of healthcare services for our seniors as part of a continuum of care. We also are exploring ways to use the Roosevelt campus in Edison to house doctor's offices, cancer and dialysis centers, a wellness center, and an outpatient rehabilitation center, all with the goal of helping residents stay healthier, more active, and in their homes longer. Our efforts to end homelessness in Middlesex County have taken a step forward. We have created and supported a conduit to reach our goal of ending homelessness in Middlesex County in 10 years. Coming home of Middlesex County is just what we need to meet this aggressive goal. Together with our municipalities, private nonprofit organizations, and a continued commitment, we can make our dream a reality. This week, the world lost one of its greatest innovators and independent thinkers, Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. He revolutionized the world simply by thinking differently. He said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." Given the accomplishments we have made in 2011, the innovative steps we are taking to deliver quality services, and our plans for the future, I can assure you that Middlesex County is a leader. I commend the working men and women of our county government for their commitment to excellence in serving the residents of Middlesex County. As a team, we will continue to forge an aggressive and sustainable economic strategy. We will reduce the cost and size of county government. We will establish new partnerships and establish new services to ensure that Middlesex County remains the greatest county in the land. Thank you very much. I guess we need to deviate from the regular order of business to conduct one public hearing, Margaret?
Yes. Resolution number 11-1555. This public hearing was advertised in the Home News Tribune on September 26, 2011, and authorized at a meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders held September 15, 2011.
The clerk will read resolution number 11-1555 by title only.
Resolution authorizing public hearing to be held on Thursday, October 6, 2011, at 7 p.m. in the Freeholders Meeting Room regarding Public Housing Agency's annual plan for 2012.
I declare the public hearing open on this resolution only. Anybody from the public on this resolution?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Mr. Kelso, any resolutions to be amended?
There are none.
Resolutions to be added?
Yes, Freeholder Director, we have one resolution proposed for addition, and that is to authorize execution of an agreement with Richard L. Dixon to serve as administrator for the Raritan Bay Mental Health Center from October 24, 2011 to October 23, 2012, at $8,750 per month, total not to exceed $105,000.
Okay. I need a motion to add that to the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett-Belante.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos. Yes. Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes. Any resolutions to be held?
There are none.
Resolutions to be voided?
Yes, Freeholder Director, as per directive of Monday evening, Resolution 11-1735 is to be voided.
Okay. At this point in time, I'd like to open the meeting up for public discussion on any resolution item, any resolutions that are on the agenda for public discussion. Yes, sir? Remember, there's a 5-minute rule, and we need your name and address.
Okay. John Sheldon, 111 Terrace Place, Hackensack. I arrived a little late, so I think if the resolution for endorsing the legislation in the Congress for H.R. 1489 is on the agenda.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I understand then it was passed through, and I just want to thank the board for doing something very important, not only for the state, county, the state, but for the nation. As of this morning, as of yesterday, there are 46 congressmen on this bill now. Just when I was here a few days ago, it was 44, so it's continually growing. However, there are none from New Jersey. So I think the 4 congressmen affected by the county here, we should make sure that they see this resolution. The nation is in dire need of credit going into the economy as opposed to bailouts on Wall Street and across Europe and other unknown places in the trillions of dollars. So I just want to thank the board for doing something I think is extremely important for the nation as a whole.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else in the public on agenda items? Sure.
Good evening. I'm Judy Shaw from Rutgers University. Pleasure to see you all and commend you on your state of the county. A fine report. Thank you. I want to speak on behalf of 111688R, support and concept for the Sustainable Raritan River Initiative. This is an effort that has been ongoing for the last 3 years. Many of you have actually been directly involved in it, as well as other members of Middlesex County government, academics, businesses, nonprofit groups, all with the purpose of trying to promote and restore the Raritan River and build the economy around the river and capitalize on our fine location. I am particularly pleased to be here tonight, in addition to make a presentation to you. This is the Sustainable Raritan River Public Access Award that was given to Middlesex County.
Isn't that nice?
This is an award that we give to an outstanding person or organization each year for different areas. This is about public access, because the county has done such great work in promoting public access to the Raritan River. The project here in New Brunswick, the park system, all of that is to get people out on the river, to celebrate the fact that we have a great river here and that we are a great community for it. So we just want to all, on behalf of the entire collaborative, thanks to Middlesex County for all this support, and I hope you'll pass the resolution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the public on agenda items?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Does any freeholder have any resolution that they wish to have removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately?
I do, Freeholder Director. 1642, 1690, and 1693.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, Mr. Kelso?
Yes, Freeholder Director, it would now be appropriate to consider motion to adopt the consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 11-1642 through 11-1738, excluding Resolution 11-1735 to be voided, and Resolutions 11-1642, 11-1690, and 11-1693 to be voted upon separately.
I need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante,
Yes.
Freeholder Polos,
Yes.
Freeholder Rios,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
And now, Freeholder Director, it would be appropriate to consider the resolutions together that were excluded by Freeholder Tamaro. Those would be Resolutions 11-1642, 11-1690, and 11-1693.
I need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante,
Yes.
Freeholder Polos,
Yes.
Freeholder Rios,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes. Okay, at this point in time, I'd like to open,
Freeholder, before we open the public portion, I'd just like to recommend, as the gentleman did, 1737, that we send that to all our 13 congresspeople in New Jersey. Make sure they get a copy of our resolution. Thank you.
Margaret? At this time, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public on any item. Yes, sir. Remember, there's a 5-minute rule.
Aviv Devani, 44 South Shore Drive, South Amboy, New Jersey. I wanted to know if your board was aware that now, more than 40 days after Hurricane Irene, there are still Middlesex County taxpayers who are homeless and hungry due to the flooding in Monroe. On September 20th, I attended a community meeting at Rossmore, and I met a group of people, including Nicole Cisnowski, and I would ask you to recognize her now to tell some of her, describe some of the story, if you would. Thank you.
If she would like to speak, sure.
Good evening. Nicole Sosnowski, Monroe Township resident. I'm here on behalf of the 14 homes that are claimed uninhabitable now for 41 days. We have been homeless, tired, hungry, and a little bit aggravated, to be honest with you. A couple of the things that I wanted to touch base on tonight were that the severely damaged homes, there are 215 homes in Monroe that have been severely damaged. There are 14 that have been uninhabitable, and on August 28th received offices from the construction office of Monroe Township that they're unsafe structure. We have not been in our homes for these 41 days. We have actually been out on the streets and pretty much homeless. We have given and received no help from our town whatsoever. The few bases, if you would mind me 2 seconds to go over these things. The township has finally answered us 5 days ago, and their answer to us is they're trying severely to come up with some acts. One of them is affordable housing resolution, which is a grant, and one of them is a granted open space resolution. The affordable housing is for those homes that can be refixed and repaired. However, they have to make less than $66,000 a year, which does not comply to most of those residents. For the 14 of us, they have recommended an Open Space Act. They want to demolition our homes. However, again, with the Open Space Act, it is a grant, and they are not sure when and or where they're going to come up with this. There has been nothing but a verbal recognition by Ernest Feist on Monday to these 14 people. There's still nothing in writing. We still can't get an answer. We are begging for your allegiance on this and to help us out. I personally have contacted the Middlesex County Board of Health on several occasions because our homes are full of sewage and mold. We have gotten sick. Every time I contact the Board of Health, I am told that I have to contact my local mayor, who, in quote, on Monday's meeting, and I do have it on Channel 28, said to me, that is not my problem. I beg of you to come down there and help us. They will not condemn the homes. They are only condemning them uninhabitable by the construction code because our houses, I have a hole inside of my house the size of your dais. My house shifted off the foundation. All 4 of the homes on my street and 2 on Daniel Road have been cracked in half. And we are left with no answers. Excuse me if I sound a little harsh, but you would too at 41 days. The second resolution, which is the Open Space Act, that according to the Township Business Administrator, Wayne Hamilton, claims there is $5 million in such funds. However, they have not come up with the accrued amount and nor are showing the accounts for that. I have been with the governor on several occasions myself. I have gone to his office on several occasions and brought this forth to him. He let us know about the Blue Acres Act. Our town is not claiming that they've gotten anything from the Blue Acres. There's $26 million in Blue Acres that was funded for the state of New Jersey, which our township in Monroe is claiming they only have so much in the open acres to purchase our properties, yet they have not received any such notification in 41 days. Finally, along with the Board of Health, if anybody can come down there, I recently got water results back from a local department that tested them, and they came back with 3 different types of E. coli and 2 types of dysentery, which I'm now to bring forth to the Rutgers program to have it properly tested, and along with our mold situation down there. Now, we are not living in the homes, but we have to be around them because we still have our stuff, and we're trying to raise awareness and get a little help down there. Finally, our fundraising issue. There have been many blessed, God-loving volunteers that have helped feed us, water us, clothe us, and our children and our parents. Thank God for the volunteers. However, there is fundraising going on in the town. None of the funds have been administered yet. One is the Senior Center of Monroe Township that is run by Bonnie Leibowitz. They are accepting checks on the behalf of the Monroe Township victims. When called upon them to ask them where they are going, they told me that they cannot tell me. Along with the PTO of Monroe Township, who had a gala 2 weeks ago and raised over $25,000, and not so much as $1 has been handed out yet. I ask that you not give it to me personally, but let's get these people some help. This is absolutely implorable. It is Monroe Township. Our mayor, our business administration, and our engineer give us no answers. The engineering is insane. Our homes are full of sewage. The MUA is now denying. Where do we go and what do we do at this point? And I beg of you for some sort of answer and some sort of help for us. Thank you for your time.
Can you leave your name and phone number?
I absolutely can.
Okay, do that with Margaret, our clerk.
Director?
Yeah.
Just one question. Does anyone know what I'm not sure what the Blue Acres program is. Could you just explain what that is, please?
The Blue Acres program was a grant actually by the state that the state had passed on, in the beginning of August before all of this happened. And the Blue Acres was actually granted by the federal government and was given to the state of New Jersey, and it's $26 million. And you can look it up, Christie's information. He actually declared that in the meeting on Wednesday, August, second Wednesday of August when this happened. We were in a meeting with them.
And that's supposed to be used to purchase homes? Is that the purpose behind it?
One of the things is that Blue Acres money is supposed to give into the Open Space Acts for such places like us that were devastated by the floods.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public?
Motion to close.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, my name is Abiel Mandama from Spotswood. I'm here to thank Freeholder Polis, John Reiser, and I see Dave out in the audience there, for the quick response within 24 hours that we're down at mine and my neighbor's property. Now, the only thing I'm looking for tonight, besides thanking you, is an update. What is really happening? Because I'm not getting too many answers.
Sure. I'll be happy to update you. In fact, I had a conference call with the business administrator, Ron Fasanello, the day before yesterday, Dave Campion and I, to talk about their time frame. We've provided them with 3 or 4 vendors who do work in that South County area. We recommended them through the inspectors from our road department. People are familiar with doing the type of removal, I should say movement, of the water main line. As you know, we need to move the water line in order to accommodate the movement to put in the large drain line. We talked about trying to create a meeting so that we could really share services here. What we're trying to do is reduce the cost for Spotswood, and the way that we hope to do that is we're going to try to plan this so that we do it together through a job meeting once the town selects a contractor. And we're going to time it where we actually shut the road down. Spotswood will redirect traffic for the day around the road so we can do the entire span of road. The county road department will endeavor to open up the road to do most of the heavy digging in cooperation, and again, that's why we need a job meeting with the contractor to see exactly what we do and what they're going to do, and then really work on it simultaneously insofar as we take the pipes out, the water contractor moves the water line, we put the new pipes in, seal the road back up, and we're done. So right now, the ball is in Spotswood's court insofar as they have to get some proposals in. Ron indicated he was going to proceed with that in a timely fashion and get some numbers in. Once they select a contractor, we'll schedule a job meeting, and then we should be in a ready-to-go mode.
Very good. And John Reiser, can I see you after the meeting? I want to ask you a couple questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Yes, sir.
How you doing? My name is Tomel Pittman from New Brunswick, and I'd like to appreciate being in you guys' presence. I heard you're a very honorable group, and I'm speaking on behalf of the residents of New Brunswick. New Brunswick has grown to a beautiful city, but unfortunately for the residents, through displacement or employment, we don't take advantage of that city, because a lot of jobs are created, but they're created for people that comes in, take advantage of the jobs, but don't live there. And you know, we really want to enjoy the city again. A lot of it's a big cry out for us to enjoy our city again. So, if anything, you know, future plans, you know, just create, because a lot of residents are on the outskirts, North Brunswick, South Brunswick, and we were born and raised there. And if any future plans you can help us with to get us back into New Brunswick and enjoying this beautiful city that it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi. Hi, my name is Sean Monahan. I'm a New Brunswick resident, and I'm also on the Democratic Committee. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the shooting that happened 2 weeks ago of a New Brunswick man named Barry DeLoach. The reason that I'm so concerned is that I don't see how there's how I can have faith in the justice system to get justice for Mr. DeLoach. The issue is that the investigation that's being conducted is being done by the Middlesex County prosecutor, and the Middlesex County prosecutor is now investigating the police. That same prosecutor works with the police on every other case that they do. This is a very unusual sort of situation. So I guess my question to you all is, why should we have faith that that the prosecutor will see that justice is done? I'd also just make a couple other points. It's my understanding that the prosecutor is the former law partner of Thomas Kelso, who is the county counsel. Also, there's just other incidents that have happened that make me concerned. So, for example, last year in a primary challenge that the mayor of New Brunswick was facing, one of the opposition city council candidates had a deranged person come to his home and attack him in his home. This person made terroristic threats to him and his family, racial slurs. A crazy fight ensued, and the New Brunswick police acted very honorably and took the man into custody right away, and I hear they performed great. But when he went to the prosecutor, that guy, his name's Thomas Vogel. He was only given a bail of $10,000, and he was out the next day. All right. Now there was an incident just last week where there were some people who were very upset about what had happened to Mr. DeLoach, and they were engaging in peaceful protesting. One of them got into an argument with a driver and threw, it was my understanding anyway, I wasn't able to attend that day. He threw a water bottle at a car. His name is Andre Showell, and he's being held on $50,000. All right? So it doesn't seem to make sense to me that if somebody comes to your house and tries to break in and is attacking you and threatening you, that you can get out the next day on $10,000, whereas Mr. Scholl is required to put up the entire amount, and he's in jail as we speak. This doesn't sound like a situation where everyone is being treated equally under the law, and that's why I'm so concerned about this, and I'm getting involved in this, because I feel that unless the community steps up and does something, then nothing will happen. You know, we're the last line of defense for justice, and if we do nothing, you know, we're complacent just by paying our taxes. So I would just like to hear why we should have faith in the Middlesex County prosecutor.
I'll respond to that. Well, first of all, just to clarify, bails for individuals are set by judges. Have nothing to do with the prosecutor's office or the freeholders or anybody. A judge who is appointed by the governor after he's approved by the Senate is the one that does that. And it's based on each in particular case.
Right.
And I know that being an attorney. Now, the other thing you have to realize is that Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office answers to the Attorney General of the state of New Jersey. And the arrangement here in this county is not unique. Every county in the state, the prosecutor's office does do investigations of local police departments, but he answers to the Attorney General. He doesn't answer to us or New Brunswick Police. He answers to the Attorney General.
It seems that there should, I think that the prosecutor from a different county should be the one to investigate the police of another county, and not just in this circumstance, but probably in all circumstances, because, you know, they just have such a close working relationship with the police the rest of the time.
That would have to be up to the Attorney General.
Right. The other point I'd like to make is I appreciate you bringing up the issue about the bail.
Time.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? We'll get you next.
Good evening. Gregory Hall, City of New Brunswick. I stand forth, too, concerning the DeLoach killing. I wanted to know if the freeholders have released any statements concerning their position on the shooting of the DeLoach, Barry DeLoach.
We have not, and I believe it's appropriate to wait for the prosecutor's investigation before any comment is made by this board, if they're going to make any comments about it.
Okay. In lieu of the findings that have been printed in the press as well as in the newspaper, it's quite evident that an innocent man was shot unarmed by the police of the City of New Brunswick. That is clear. It is also a finding that these two patrol officers have a history of violence in New Brunswick on the police department. As we wait for the decision from the prosecutor's office, I think this board, as well as the City of New Brunswick board, can step forth and dismiss these two officers.
We don't have any jurisdiction. We have no ability to do that. They're employed by the City of New Brunswick. It's not within our jurisdiction to dismiss a police officer or any employee of any of our municipalities.
And the reason that I'm requesting such a demand, even though we're waiting on the decision from the prosecutor's office, it has been proven, without a shadow of a doubt, that these two officers have violated the public's trust. They have used a firearm against an innocent man, an unarmed man, okay? Irregardless of what the prosecutor's findings are, these two officers should be dismissed. They should be dismissed based on their actions of the Barry Deloche case. They should be dismissed. Second of all, I have had the opportunity to contact the state legislatures, both Bob Smith, Uprinda Shevakula, and Joe Egan, who both represent the City of New Brunswick. The only response that I have gotten back was from Uprinda Shevakula, and just a total disregard of legislatures to get back to citizens who are concerned with due process. Last night I spoke before the City Council of the City of New Brunswick and expressed my same opinion. If we cannot afford answers from our elected officials, this body of government, local body of government, what role are you serving? People have to be independent voices. The Democratic organization has a history of being a clique, okay? From Dave Crabeel to the indictments of Joe Spicuzzo, we can go on and on. It is time for independent voices to step forward. When wrong has been done by citizens of this county, we shouldn't have to wait to the prosecutor's office because you don't have a history of indicting police officers. So I think we need to take a proactive step and move forward with making actions against these two officers. It has to be demonstrated that this county would not allow any officers to be above the law. I am no stranger here. Jim Paulus knows me. So does Blanquita Valente and Tom Kelso. I have a history of working with the City of New Brunswick over 20 years. I've worked in the state legislature for another 8 years in the General Assembly, so I'm no stranger to public policy. But it upsets me that city government and county officials need to wait for a prosecutor's findings to make comments to the public. What have we become? Have we become just individuals who are concerned with our careers and our jobs? And the people of this county are being faced with police brutality? When does it end, ladies and gentlemen? These hand-picked candidates that go unopposed in elections, it must cease. Because there's a clear demonstration that the Democratic Party in this county is only concerned with patriotism, cronyism. Stand up. When an individual is shot in his back, unarmed.
Time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Randall. I live at 23 Carlton Avenue in Mill Lake Manor, Monroe. Please forgive me if I'm nervous. I am extremely nervous. I've never been thrown into anything like this before. I've lived in Monroe since 1985, and my flood zone at the time was AE, which is the highest risk. I bought the house completely understanding the risk. Never had a flood. Never. This is our second evacuation, however. We were evacuated in 2005, and again, 6 weeks ago. In 2008, we were told that the county flood maps had been rezoned, and our area was reduced to a Zone C, which meant flood insurance was then optional. I was one of the many residents who chose to let it lapse because it is extremely expensive. Unfortunately, something must have happened for them to reduce the zoning from AE, which is a high hazard, to a C, which is optional. I don't know what took place with the county, the Army Corps of Engineers. I have no idea what took place, but we have all this documentation too. Something obviously must have taken place. We were never notified that apparently in early 2011, we were then changed back to a Zone AE. I never found this out until after the flood, when an insurance agent who happens to they're actually living in a tent on their lawn still to this day, and they have triplets who are 14 months old. This is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. She's an insurance agent and showed it to me that early 2011 we were changed back to a Zone AE. So we all have been left, homeowners isn't kicking in, flood, most of us didn't have flood. In any event, I wanted to ask things like, I've never been to a town council meeting before, but I've attended the last 2 or 3 in our county, and it seems to me that the township engineer, lawyer, appraiser, I don't know if there is one on contract, but it seems to me they are also making a profit out of our disaster, because they approved extra fees for Ernie Feist's office to now assist these condemned and trashed homes. They approved extra legal fees for the lawyer to assist in closing and do all this for the homes that have been affected. They approved that the appraiser would get over $1,000 per appraisal for every home that was requested to be in on this deal. Our concern is the township says they're getting flood hazard mitigation contributions from FEMA. The town also is charging these residents out of these supposed appraisal or buyout numbers that they are offering. They're charging the homeowner who didn't choose to be without a home. They didn't choose to be living on their lawn. They're charging them for Ernie Feist's extra fees, Mr. Shane's extra fees, the appraisal fee, the demolition fee, the removal fee, the FEMA check that the condemned homeowner might have gotten, they want back. So it seems a little bit like perhaps double dipping, but more importantly, what is the homeowner left with? After nobody took care of Monroe from, like I said, I've been there since '85. In '79, there was a terrible flood. We were told the Army Corps of Engineers fixed the berm behind Forest Park Terrace. That property happens to be owned by DuPont and a few other companies. It obviously wasn't sufficient. And I know we voted on it in Monroe, and I know a lot of people are complacent and they don't get out and vote, but we had funds in Monroe to build a $23 million state-of-the-art senior center. There were funds to build a lavish and extravagant, as described in the Sentinel, a lavish and extravagant high school with rock climbing walls and things. And it just seems to me, I know we voted, and I know it got through by our own lack of an initiative, but these things are important too, and somehow there's no funding for that. When we posed the question to Pucci and Feist at the Township Council meeting about when is the township going to finally address this problem and fix it instead of just band-aiding, band-aiding and band-aiding, the answer that we got was an endeavor like that would be extremely expensive. We also had an answer, we asked why you can't build a sewage station higher, bigger, a pumping station. The answer we got was that would be an eyesore. I want to ask them to come down to Tyndale and Ashmole and Daniel Road and ask what an eyesore is. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else in the public? Yes, sir.
Hello, Mark Lazinski of Monroe Township, also representing some of the flood victims. My parents live at 52 Daniel Road, which has now become a tourist attraction. They're seniors. The house is split in half. You stated earlier about preventing homelessness in Middlesex County. Monroe has done nothing yet to stop it. I spoke to Wayne Hamilton on October 3rd, okay, addressing about affordable housing, that I saw a spreadsheet in 2010 of $12.9 million, gaining 5% interest rate, and then the MUA open space in 2010, $49 million at 5%. He said that money's gone and is spent. Okay, I don't see nowhere in the budget where the $5 million is, that they're saying they're going to help us out to make us whole again. And I quote Richard Pucci, who said, we want to make our township residents whole again. So how are we going to do that? Where's this money going to come from? Also, Middlesex County Flood Commission, 2010, they did a $500,000 grant they had to do studies on the floodwaters in that area. Were studies ever done or completed on that? Because it appears to me every time when a study is done, now please correct me if I'm wrong, they do the study.
I believe the study was done.
Okay, now...
I don't know if they've gotten the results. I know there is a meeting coming up, I believe, at the end of October of that commission.
Okay.
We'll talk about some of these issues.
Okay.
But whether or not we physically have the report back, I don't know the answer to that.
And how long is that study good for?
I don't know.
Okay, because it seems like everybody sits on their hands, and then when it's time to do something on the study, oh, we've got to do another study. So I see that time and time and time again. You know, I've worked in the township. I know what goes on. I've worked in Monroe for 14 years. I no longer work with them. So, I mean, and when she speaks about the lavish high school, it was $200 million for that high school, I believe, and it was on parkland that got passed. So, again, like I said, just, you know, please can you look into this and address this issue of what's going on in Monroe, because I do not see the money anywhere in the budget. I printed it out, I asked, and I'm not getting no answers.
If you leave your name and number, we'll have somebody get back to you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public?
Motion.
Sir?
Good evening. I am Noble Aaron L. Shabazz. I would prefer not to give my address because I have to be concerned about retaliation from the New Brunswick Police Department. In the State of the County report, the board talked about improving services and quality of life for the residents, and that's what good government is all about. You talked about community policing and providing better equipment to police to check license plates. However, I would like to know, what is the board doing to improve the services of the New Brunswick Police Department, including the Internal Affairs Unit, because for many years now the services have been beyond poor but literally criminal and oppressive, and have made the people's quality of life a living hell in this county. The police actually have made us feel unsafe. The residents feel unsafe a lot of the times because of the New Brunswick Police Department, which is corrupt, which includes the Internal Affairs Unit. You cannot trust police to police themselves. So what I would like to know is, what is the Board of Freeholders doing to help improve the services to make the New Brunswick Police Department to clean up the corruption and make it a better police department that actually helps the people instead of domestically terrorizing the people? That is my question.
As I've indicated before, this board of chosen freeholders does not have authority or jurisdiction over the City of New Brunswick Police Department. We don't. Any things that you've brought up should be addressed to the mayor and council of the City of New Brunswick. But we don't have the authority or the ability to get involved with the police department.
Okay, so the community has addressed the city council and the community has addressed the mayor. I guess then what I would like to know is, what part would the Board of Freeholders play in improving the services of the New Brunswick Police Department, since it is under the authority of Middlesex County?
The police department is not under under our authority.
The New Brunswick Police Department is under Middlesex County, correct?
It's in Middlesex County, but we don't have the authority to go into the police department as freeholders and do anything.
So you have, there's nothing you can do to help improve the New Brunswick Police Department?
We don't have the authority. We have, as I indicated before, we provided grants to the community. I believe New Brunswick got one of the community policing grants that I mentioned. We provide funding, but that we don't, aside from that, we ourselves as freeholders don't have.
I understand jurisdiction very well. My question would then be, why continue to provide the New Brunswick Police Department with any sort of funds or monies when they have proven themselves to be corrupt and they're not utilizing that money to help the people and improve the services of the people or the quality of life of the people? If they're not doing their job, that means they're not using that money appropriately and they are not worthy to receive such funds. So you could start there. Don't give them any more money. Would you be willing to do that?
No. All I could say is that's your opinion, okay? At this point in time, they applied for that grant, and like the other, I believe, 24 other municipalities were provided that grant to run programs, as I indicated before, bullying, bias, vandalism.
But they're the ones bullying the people. So how it's hypocritical to give them funds based on those type of characteristics, bullying, bias, when they are the bullies and they are biased and they are racist and prejudiced. That makes no sense. I mean, I understand the position you're in. I just wanted to state that for the record. I won't continue.
Anybody else? Anybody else in the public?
I'm not going to be here too long. I am Noble Coriel. I understand you guys said you don't have the jurisdiction to do certain things. We all have a position to play in life. It comes to a point where we say, when do we become people? When do we stop commercializing our charity? When injustice is done, no matter what your race is, religion, I see people come here from all different walks of life. These individuals from Monroe. I attend Rutgers University. I've been in the community for about 6 years, New Brunswick. I don't know if you guys live here or not, but I do. And injustice anywhere is an issue of justice everywhere. We're all people. These people, vital needs, a home, a house. Justice, Barry DeLoach, Andre Chauvel, who was out there on the behalf of an individual who was innocent from New Brunswick Police Department. I understand we all have roles, but again, when do we become people? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the public?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.